They were raising and raising in 2016, and they seemed to double the overall amount. How much did we know that this billion-dollar closing was coming?
We did, like you mentioned, that we reported in December that they had expanded their target to raise about $1 billion. I mean, this is a very capital-intensive business, but we had also reported a couple months ago that the company was profitable for the first time in the second half of 2016, and they're also targeting profitability for this year, which is an encouraging sign for investors as they push ever closer to a long-delayed potential IPO.
Yeah, we'll dig into that. Where do we think that $1 billion is already going to be being put to work? We've seen them on the acquisition trail. They were splashing $300 million in a Canadian company. Do we expect more of that?
Yeah, well, they bought this, like you mentioned, Luxury Retreats is this Canadian high-end, you can rent a mansion or a villa in the Hamptons or, on the coast of Florida. They've articulated this vision to be this sort of full-service travel company right now. Their main business is really just renting out people's homes and apartments, but they want to add all these add-on services. In November, they launched these, add-on travel services, so you could get like tours and, go pick mushrooms in a forest with a tour guide. And so they want to do more of that, and they seem to be very much open to acquiring companies to get there. So that's one way that they could put some of this money to use. We also reported in Bloomberg Businessweek a couple months ago that they're really looking at China this year as a point of expansion, and could do a deal there, or they may just need to hire a bunch of bodies in Beijing to get that done.
We've also got to look at the valuation. $31 billion is pretty hefty, but if we think back to this time last week, and indeed Friday trading of Snap, they were at about a similar valuation. How do they sort of rank in terms of size and value?
Yeah, well, obviously Airbnb is the second most valuable tech startup in the United States, right behind Uber. Well, a ways behind Uber. Uber, I think, is about $69 billion now. But yeah, I mean, they're up there. They've been around for almost as long as Uber has, or actually a little bit longer, so almost about a decade. And so they're getting to the point where I think some investors and outside watchers are saying, when is this company going to go public? But I mean, as this extra $1 billion in total in this round shows, that they can hold out on the private markets for a while longer.